Hello guys, it's Irene here, and so there's that one, and then here's this one. And then here's the third one. Okay, so for this bracelet, you guys can use any colors you want to use. Make sure you have some bands, a hook, and some looms, because if you have extra looms, they should be set like this. So make sure your looms are in this configuration. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do is put down our bands. So the bands that we are going to be putting down are, as you can see, these purple bands. We're gonna put these bands on first. So take some time to decide what your outside color is going to be. Mine is going to be yellow. First thing we're going to do is lay down our border bands. Okay, so after when you get done with that side, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Also, make sure to push your bands down. Take some time to push your bands down. Okay, so after when you've done that, the next thing that we're going to do is, let's see. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is put some yellow bands going down on both sides in the center. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And take some time to push your bands down. Make sure to do that on both sides. Okay, so after when you've done that, the next thing we're going to do is put down our inside colors on both sides. As you can see here, between the purples, there is the inside color on this bracelet, which is pink. So on this one, I am going to put, let's see. What I'm going to do is we are going to do this single chain thing again, and then after this I'm going to show you something different. And push those bands down. Okay, so after when you've done that, we're going to, let's see, so we're going to put bands down like that. And we're going to repeat the same thing until we reach all the way down. And take some time to push your bands down. Okay. And the next thing we're going to do is put some bands going this way. And to do that, all you do is just put it on like that. And you do the same thing. As you can see, these pink bands make a arrow pattern pointing up, as you can see. So we're going to do the same thing. after when you've done that, you're going to push these bands down. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So the first thing we're going to do is put down our bands to make a single chain. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is put down our bands going this way. Okay, and then the very last thing we're going to do is put our bands going that way. And take some time to push your bands down once you've completed the other side. Okay, so after when both sides have been applied, the very last thing we want to put is our inside bands in the center. So let's see. I will be using blue. Okay, so let's see. So the way to put these down, okay, so start here, and then here, here, and here. And that's how I put those on. And then do the same thing until you reach to the bottom. Okay. And the very last thing we need to do is put down our cap bands for our starbursts that's in the center. Okay, so after when you did that, you're going to turn your loom around. And give me just a second. I'm gonna move these out the way. Okay, so you want to put one more cap band. Yeah, okay, so you want to put your very last cap band down here. And then now you are ready to start looping. Okay, so the very first thing we're going to do is we are going to loop our starburst bands that are in the center. So what we're going to do is go in here and grab your blue rubber band and hook it up here. And we're going to go in our cap band, grab the first band, pull it over, and then go in here and we're going to do the same thing. Grab the next rubber band and pull it. And then push it down. And then you're going to go to the next one and you're going to do the same thing. Okay, so after when you've done that, take some time to push your bands down. Okay, and now what we're gonna do next is loop our pink bands. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in here, go inside your blue, and then pull the pink. Okay, and pull it up there. And then we're gonna go in all these rubber bands. And pull it to the side like that. I don't know why I'm having a hard time getting this rubber band. But when looping, take your time. It's no rush. Sometimes there will be times that you will struggle. Because sometimes looping bands may not be easy. Sometimes bands can get in the way. Okay, so we're going to go on the other side and we're going to do the same thing. Take some time to push your bands down. Okay. I'm going here. Okay, so now after doing that, we're going to now loop our yellow bands, which is our outside color. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to, okay, so we're going to go in here and loop this up. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And then we're going to loop the center and go through all these bands and get your outside color. we're gonna go back down and go in here. Okay. So after you've done that, we're going to now excuse me. We're going to now loop the borders on both sides. So make sure you go through all of these bands to make sure you get your outside color. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay. And then what we're going to do after when you've reached to the top, you're going to go through all these bands. Grab 2 rubber bands and pull that through all those rubber bands. Oops. Let me try that again. Okay, you're gonna go through all these rubber bands, stick these 2 bands and pull them through. And then for right now, you're going to get a C-clip and clip these bands. And then you're going to gently pull your bracelet off the loom, and then I'll show you how to make the extensions. So simply take your bracelet off. Take your time to do that. As you can see, your bracelet should come out like this. Beautiful. Alright, now to make the extension, what we're going to do is we're going to go into these 2 rubber bands that have been clipped. So we're going to simply go in like that, unclip these, and then we're going to make a extension. So what you want to do is take your next color, pull them through, and then take your next color and do the same thing. You're basically just going to keep doing the same thing until your bracelet is big enough. Okay, so after when you get done, you're going to clip your bands and then find your cat band and simply clip it. And your bracelet is now complete. Okay, so that is the end of this video. But anyway, thanks for watching, and that's it.